Hey guys, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to create our vertical sections using the curtain wall command in Revit. So to start off, let's activate the curtain wall command. Now you won't find the curtain wall as a separate command. You will need to activate the wall tool first. And then in the type list, at the bottom, you will find the curtain wall types. Let's go with not defined and we'll define our own type. And let's place this curtain wall here, the outside. We'll need to adjust this. But also when you place it, you'll need to check the base constraint and the top constraint. For now, it is GF slab top, which is ground floor slab top, and up to finish floor. So that's only about 2 inches, but actually we'll need to go all the way to the first floor slab top. So now it's right, it's about 10 feet. Now let's select this wall and let's click on selection box. So now you can see we have our wall here. Now there's not much happening in this wall. It's a simple wall here and there are no divisions. So let's add some divisions to this wall here. So let's click on edit here and let's duplicate the type. Let's call this MPS underscore vertical sections and click on OK. Now to add grids, we have vertical grids here and horizontal grids. In our case, what we need are vertical grids. So let's add vertical grids here, maximum spacing. And the spacing between each grid would be about 3.5 inches. And there would be no horizontal grids. Now let's click on apply and click on OK. So now you can notice we have some vertical grids. By the way, if you saw that error, that element has duplicate type mark. That is because when you edit the type, if you scroll down, you'll notice that there is a type mark called CW01. That is the same for not defined as well. So we need to change the type mark for this type here. So let's call this, for example, vertical type 01, and then let's click on OK. So that error goes away. All right, so I've added my vertical sections, but there are no mullions in between these vertical sections. It's basically just the panel now. And basically this panel needs to be not glazed, but rather empty panel. That I'll show you how to add that as well. So let's go back to our type. You need to select the curtain wall again. So when you select the curtain wall, you can notice that there is this dashed lines at the boundaries. That means you selected the curtain wall. Let's click on edit type again. And now what you need to do is under vertical grid, we've added the grids. And once you've added the grids, we can add the mullions as well. So you can notice we have vertical mullions here. Now there are 3 options. One is the interior type, border 1 type, and border 2 type. Border 1 type is the starting vertical section. Border 2 type is the end vertical section. And interior types are the ones in between these 2 borders. So for example, when I add, let's say, a section to border 1, so let's go with maybe a 5-inch or 1.5 inch by 2.5 inch rectangular section. And let's click on OK. So now you can notice that it comes on this side. So it depends on where you drew the curtain wall as well. So I started from this point and that is the border 1. So you can see I've added a section here. Now let's click on edit type again. And if you want to add a section on the end of this curtain wall, then you can add it on border 2 type. So let me add it on the end now. So now you can notice it comes on this end. And now if you want to add in between, you can select the curtain wall. Let's remove the sections here. We do not want sections on the ends. We just need them between the ends. So I'm going to add a section here. So this is going to be rectangular mullion, 1.5 by 2.5 rectangular. Now, due to the change in parameters, some mullions get deleted. So you can delete those mullions. And now you can notice that we have added these sections in between. Now you can notice that our panels here. So basically now what happens is we have our sections in between and then we have these panels. So these are our facade panels. So if you want to change these facade panels, you can edit the type again and that you will find under curtain panel. So right now it's set to none, which means that it's using the system panel. You can also set your own panel here. For example, you can set, let's say, curtain empty system panel. So basically now if you click on apply, the system panel goes away. So now it's just our sections in this curtain panel type. So now let me just go back to ground floor slab top. So I've created my curtain wall. Now when you want to add these walls here, you can draw the wall again. So let's go to architecture, click on wall, and let me select the right type. This time it's going to be MPS vertical section, R type, which we created. I'm going to draw it from the slab top, not to the finished floor of ground floor, rather to the first floor slab top, and that's about 10 feet. So I'm going to start from ground floor slab top to first floor slab top. I'm going to draw it as a chain. I'm going to draw it from the center line, which means I need to give an offset. And in this case, the offset would be about half the size of this section here. So let me just figure out what the exact size is by using our temporary dimensions. So here it would be from this part to this part. So that's about 1/4 of an inch. So I need to give an offset of 1/4 of an inch to get the center. So let me go back to wall and let's give an offset of 1/4 of an inch. And yeah, so now we can start drawing our curtain wall. So I'm going to start from this center point here. So in case you're not able to find the center point, okay, so now let's start drawing our wall. So I'm going to start from this edge here, and I'm going to go to the right all the way till the end here. So you can notice that it's placed exactly 1/4 of an inch from this edge. And then I can start from this edge. So you can tap the tab key to select the endpoint. All right, so I've created the type. Now let's create the curtain wall. So to create the curtain wall, let's activate the wall command again. And let's select the R type, which we just created, which is MPS vertical section. And then what we need to do is we need to draw the wall from an offset. So the offset right now, if I use my measurement tool, you can also use the annotate tool. So you can see it's 1/4 of an inch. So I need to give an offset of 1/4 of an inch when drawing the wall. So I'm going to click on wall again. And then I'm going to give an offset here of 1/4 of an inch and tap enter. And make sure it's from ground floor to slab floor to first floor. Height is 10 feet. Now we can start drawing the wall. So I'm going to also make sure that chain is switched on so you can continuously draw the wall. So I'm going to start from here, this point. I'm going to go all the way to the right here and click again. And then I'm going to go all the way down and I'm going to click here. So you can notice that I've placed my curtain wall. Now, of course, it's not the same as the size of the one shown in the DWG file, but it gets the work done. Now, if I go to my 3D view and if I switch off the section box, you can notice that I've placed my panel here. So I can delete this curtain wall here. And you can notice that I've placed my cool looking curtain wall panel. Perfect. Now there are a few adjustments for these curtain walls. For example, it has to be the same size as our DWG drawing. So in that case, it would, if I hide the curtain wall temporarily, our DWG drawing is only about 1 inch by 2 inches. So we need to create a separate section and then update this curtain wall with this section. So I'll show you how to do that. Simply go to your, simply select the wall, click on edit type and check the profile name here. So it's called rectangular mullion, 1.5 inch by 2.5 inches. So let's search for the same name in our family list. So let's go to families here and let's search for mullion. So you can see we have rectangular mullion. So we can create a new mullion type. So let's create a new type and let's call this 1 inch by 2 inches rectangular mullion. And let's double click. And here we can change the size. So you can see there's width on one side and width on side 1 and width on side 2. So let's change this to 1 inch and let's change this to 2 inches. Now in case it's the wrong side, we can of course come back to this window and change this to 1 and this to 2. But let's check if this works. So let's click on OK. All right, so we placed our curtain wall and we've completed this task as well. But if you'd like to perfect curtain walls, what you can do is you can stick around. In the next few videos, I'll show you about how to create families in curtain walls and add these families into the curtain wall. So we can use these. For example, we can add the end profile here and more. So we'll do a small curtain wall family masterclass. Now, if you like to skip that and continue building on your project and finish this project quickly, you can skip the next section and jump to the next part of the construction, where we would present this plan and also complete the project by adding our terrace, uh, adding our parapet walls in the terrace, adding our plaster, and a whole lot more. All right, so if you like to continue on the curtain wall series, stick around. If not, I'll see you guys post this section. And for those sticking around, I'll see you guys next video. Cheers.